Hi, friends. I hope you had a great day yesterday reading about the tropical rainforest, habitat, and the reptiles that live there. Today, we're going to learn about another habitat that reptiles love to live in. It is the desert. It is totally different from a tropical rainforest, where the rainforest has like 400 inches of rain per year or more. A desert barely has any rain. So let's learn about the desert. Now, the desert, there are both cold and hot deserts. Did you know that? There are cold deserts. I didn't know that, did you? That's fascinating, don't you think? Um, the hot the hot deserts are hot and warm all year round. The cold deserts have the extreme. They're hot in the summer but extremely cold in the winter. Okay? Animals, I'm sorry for that. These during the winter, deserts get very little rain. Okay? And so that's why you don't see the lush green trees like you do in the rainforest. And some of the reptiles that live there are mostly nocturnal. And let me tell you what nocturnal means. Nocturnal means they only come out at night because it's too hot. It is too hot to come out during the day, so they come out at night. That's why they're nocturnal. And some of the reptiles that live in the desert are snakes and lizards. Now, let me tell you about a couple of reptiles that live in the desert. One is called the flat-tailed skink. Now, a flat-tailed skink, it has a flat tail. This is it right here, and a head. Now, the head looks just like the tail, and the reason why they look alike is to confuse the predator. So when the predator is trying to attack, he said, "Wait a minute, is that the tail? Is that the head?" They use it as a protection defense against predators. Another animal that lives in the desert is a lizard. Now, a lizard is a carnivore. The flat-tailed skink is a carnivore. And the lizard is egg-laying. And once again, it comes out nocturnally. Sometimes they come out during the day, but they try to head for shady spots. Okay, what the lizards also has this thing about alternate their feet to keep their feet from burning up on the desert floor, or they walk on their toes like tippy toes, tippy toe, tippy toe, tippy toe, tippy toe, to keep their feet from burning up on the desert floor because that's how hot the desert is, and they're closer to the ground. Yeah, friends, it's like that in the desert. So I hope you will stick around to listen to today's book. It's called Endangered. Close up. It's about different species that are endangered. And now you're saying, Dr. Coleman, those are mammals on the cover. Oh, yeah, but they have some reptiles in this book too that are endangered. And if we don't take care of their habitats, we won't have them anymore. I am always pro animals, protecting their habitats because, animals are a gift, I think, and we should always take care of them. So this book is a great book, and we have great activities and videos to go in the remote learning plan. Please have your parents click on those links. So stick around, friends, and listen to a book about endangered species. Today's book is called Endangered Close Up by Lorna Hendry. It's about how certain animals are endangered. That means they will no longer exist on this earth because of guess who? I'm not throwing any hints out there, man. Man in the sense that we're all man. Okay? She took the pictures. She's also the photographer because the pictures are taken with a camera. Okay. Oh, look at this picture. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at this. Orangutans are apes that live in the Borneo and Sumatra. They are endangered because the rainforests where they live are being destroyed, making it hard for them to find food. They are also captured and sold as pets. Wildlife organizations rescue orangutans and release them into protected areas where they will be safe. Can you imagine having an orangutan as a pet? They're not meant to be pets. Przewalski horses are the only true wild horses in the world. They have never been tamed. They once roamed the plains of Mongolia, but were hunted for their meat. 50 years ago, there were none left in the wild. Can you believe none were left in the wild? Now, after being bred in captivity, that means probably in zoos and private parks, there are 1,800 Przewalski horses and 300 in the wild. Wow. Wow, look at this tiger. Isn't this some gorgeous pictures? They're gorgeous. Tigers are the largest cats in the world. There are fewer than 4,000 left. People are cutting down the forest where they live and hunting them for their skins. A worldwide campaign aims to increase their numbers in the next decades. So a lot of these animals are being endangered because their habitats are being destroyed by men and women, and not you guys, but you know. California condors are one of the largest birds in North America. They are dying out because the places where they live are being destroyed. Some die of lead poisoning after eating dead animals that have been shot with lead bullets. Oh my gosh, can you believe that, friends? When there were only 22 left in the wild, they were all put in zoos to keep them safe. Now there are more than 400 birds, and more than half are back in the wild. We know this panda baby. Hi, panda baby. Giant pandas are bears that live in China. Pandas mainly eat bamboo, and they need a lot of it to survive. Most of the forests where they live are being destroyed by logging. That means they're cutting down the trees and turning the bamboo trees into paper, furniture, things that we need. Okay, by logging, farming, and mining. There are about 2,000 pandas left. Reserves have been set up to look after them. Oh, look at this. What do you think that is, friends? He comes from a land down under. Tasmanian devils are only the size of a small dog, but they look and sound very fierce. They are threatened by a rare cancer that gives them sores and lumps around their face and makes it hard for them to eat. Oh. Healthy Tasmanian devils are being looked after in reserves in case the wild population dies out. So once again, mass pollution is causing animals' habitats to be destroyed and sicknesses in animals. And for once, captivity, which means keeping them in a park, a reserve, or a zoo, seems the only way this animal can survive. So what do you think about that? That's a deep question. Too deep for you, man, huh? Hawksbill sea turtles. Oh, this turtle reminds me. Remember when we read Harry and Gary about the sea turtle who swallowed a plastic bag thinking it was a jellyfish? Remember that story? A book-to-book connection. Hawksbill sea turtles have a curved beak like a bird. The adult live much of the time in shallow lagoons. That means like little streams and lakes and shallow parts of the ocean, and on the coral reefs. Young turtles live in the open ocean. Turtles are endangered because people hunt them for their shells and meat and collect and eat their eggs. Some turtles die because they accidentally swallow plastic bags which they think look like jellyfish. Can you believe that? Oh, I love rhinoceros. Look at that. Those are some big animals. Look at the horn. Black rhinoceros live in Africa. People hunt them for their horns, which are made into handles for daggers or ground up and used as medicine. There are fewer than 5,000 left. They all live in wildlife reserves. This means they live in a special part of Africa where there's no hunting allowed. That's the only way they're surviving. Addax are a type of large antelope that are endangered because they are hunted for their meat and skins. Today, there are fewer than 300 addax in the wild. Over 600 are in captive breeding programs, and more than 1,000 in private collections. So the only way these animals are surviving, also, if they're put in safe places so men cannot get to them. Oh. Amur leopards are found in parts of Russia and China. In recent years, their numbers in the wild have dropped below 30 as they are threatened by hunters and loss of habitat. A campaign aims to increase the number of wild Amur leopards to 160 in the coming years. Once again, man, it seems man can let nature be. We talked about habitats, friends. Habitats are crucial to animal survival. It would just be like if someone came to your house and they said, "Look, this is my house," and they just tore it down. Well, where am I going to live? Well, I don't care. You have to. I know we have to think about what man needs, but we also have to be mindful of what animals need. Okay. Sea otters rely on their thick fur coat to stay warm. Their fur was once so valuable they were nearly hunted to extinction. Extinction means there are none left in the entire world. Now, one of the greatest threats to sea otter is oil pollution. When their fur, when their fur is covered with, I'm sorry, can I start that over, friends? When their fur is covered in oil, they can die from becoming too cold. So we have to be careful what we put in the ocean. Look at this. Doesn't it look scary? Slow lorises live in South and Southeast Asia. Some species are threatened because much of the forests where they live are being destroyed. They are also hunted and then sold as pets. There's a big thing, pet theme and destroying of habitats in this book. Look at that. What's that, friends? It is not just large animals that are endangered. Lots of insects are too. Some types of bees are becoming extinct because of the pesticides and because the places where they live are being destroyed. Bees help plants grow. If bees did not pollinate plants, that means take the plant seeds to different plants on their little fur, we wouldn't have any plants. Bees are very important to the environment. They help fertilize plants by moving pollen from one flower to another. What are these animals? Aren't they gorgeous? How about this word? Use this word on your parents. They're majestic. Majestic means they're so beautiful you can't even form the words to say how beautiful they are. Animals can be helped saved from becoming extinct by creating national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and reserves where they can be protected. Elephants are a threatened species. This means they are at risk of becoming endangered. Threatened species are also protected in parks and reserves. In Africa, the only way some of these animals survive is that they are put in national parks and reserves where they are guarded, like valuables. so they can live. People all over the world are working hard to help endangered animals. You can help too by finding out more about the animals and how we can make the earth a better place. I think we can make the earth a better place by watching how we our garbage and sometimes not destroying their habitats, right? And this is the end of the book, and he has a glossary. This is called a glossary. Now, a glossary is a special part of a book where they have words you might not know the meaning of, and the author gives you the meaning of that word. So, like for example, he has logging. You might say, I don't know what logging means, and he has logging, cutting down trees in a forest. He might say, what is reserves and sanctuaries? Places where animals are protected. So he gives us definitions of certain words so you know their meaning. This book was very fascinating, and it got to me to thinking, how can I help animals? How can we help animals? We have to be careful of their habitats and protect their food source. That means what they eat. So there are great videos in the remote learning plan. And there's a great activity to go with this book. Not this book, I'm sorry, friends. To go with the theme of reptiles. Also, don't forget to log into your Happy Numbers account, your BookFlix account. I'm sorry, Scholastic BookFlix account, and Epic Books. So, I hope you have a great day. And be kind to an animal.